talked about how we build brands, we've talked about how we grow our impact, but what about metaverses and the future of gaming? It feels like we are at day one of an extraordinary, burgeoning opportunity. Here to tell us a little bit more about what the future will look like for metaverses and the gaming industry on Cardano, we've got a phenomenal panel. We'll be joined by Manuel from Pavia, Kevin J. Foxe from Enter the Mandala, Linda Roland will moderate it from MALU Pool, Egon Stellar from Hood, and joining us remotely is Josh Jones and Rob Greig from Cornucopias. Let's hear it for our amazing panelists.
Thank you, thank you.
All right. Hello, everybody.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I think we all know that Web3 will completely change the gaming industry, and I'm very excited about that. And today we've got 5 incredibly big players in this space who will share their knowledge and experience with us. And yeah, so that's going to be pretty interesting. As for me, I'm Linda. I'm a stake pool operator on Cardano, and I've been into gaming for pretty much my entire life. So would the gentlemen please like to introduce themselves?
Sure. So my name is Paul. I'm the COO of Pavia Metaverse project. I've been working on that for the last year. Prior to that, I've been in the games industry and tech for about 8 years, working on infrastructure solutions for AAA games, such as Call of Duty and Apex Legends, and 4 years at Unity as a result of that work as well.
Kevin Foxe, here with Enter the Mandala. I'd say it's a metaverse project, but it's maybe more crazy than that. My background is worked in film, television, and internet forever, I think, and I've been working on Mandala for most of my life now, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm Egon. I'm the founder and CEO of the Stellar Hood project. And my background is I was working as a scientist for several years, and after that switched to the German automotive industry. And after that I decided to go into blockchain, and finally I ended up in the NFT space. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone, I'm Josh, co-CEO of Cornucopias, and I've been a startup entrepreneur for years. And been working on Cornucopias for about 1 year and 4 months since we launched it.
Yeah, and hello there. I'm Rob Greig. I'm the other co-CEO. I've been developing since I was about 12. And if Josh and myself were actually in the auditorium with me, I would probably be sat on Josh's knee.
All right. Well, first of all, I would like to talk a little bit about the current state of Web3 gaming. Web3 gaming and Metaverse are one of the biggest topics in blockchain at the moment. So just sort of the basics, what are the differences between Web2 and Web3 gaming? Paul, would you like to go?
I think the key difference here is the fact that, and I'll separate Web3 from Metaverse if I may, but the introduction of blockchain introduces for the first time true digital property rights into games, which has never really existed before, which is exciting in itself, and there are many, many benefits of that. But I mean, if you've been around gaming long enough before the internet existed, then you had a physical cartridge or a CD or a DVD in your hand, and actually that had some value. But ever for the last sort of 5 to 10 years, that value has disappeared. But now we can reintroduce value in terms of owning true assets forever, regardless of what happens to that game, and carrying them forward. And that opens up an enormous amount of opportunities, one of which that excites us the most is the concept of composability. So you may have an NFT in one game, but there's absolutely no reason why someone can't come along and build a new experience or a new game or take that NFT into a whole different realm. So composing upon different people's stuff. We hear a lot about interoperability. Will my sword work in this game versus that? I think that's coming at it from the wrong angle. I think it's far more interesting is there will be a plethora of assets out there in the digital domain, and people can build creations around it. So that's what's exciting to me.
Yeah, so why bring gaming to the blockchain as well? So what would you say to that, Egon?
Yes, well, usually the usual answer to this is decentralization. But in my opinion, we are far from that point that we bring decentralized gaming for everyone. So we have to start small and go step by step. And in my opinion, bringing games to the blockchain or bringing the blockchain into gaming is more some kind of bringing ownership certificates for the players, giving them the game content back after they have backed and paid for the game they are playing. So this is the main, and this will be a game changer in my opinion.
That's a very good point. So my question would be, why did you decide, it's for all of you, why did you decide to build your projects on Cardano? Maybe Paul can go first and we just go through.
Very briefly, I think if you have a project that's fully fleshed out in great detail, you know precisely what you're building, then you could probably go through an evaluation process of choosing one chain over another. But that's not the case for many projects, actually. So the choose to go to Cardano for us, actually, it was less about a technical decision, and it was more about the North Star of that particular project. And we're strong believers in the long game, and that was precisely what Cardano, you know, with peer-reviewed and you know, all that stuff. So that was really the reason for us. We believe in the long game, and it felt like the right chain for us to start on.
For us, what attracted us, we're less a game than an experience and sort of a mind-changing. It's difficult to talk about Mandala because it's so many pieces, right? It's more. There's a TV show. There's an MMORPG. There's going to be AR, but we're also trying to change people's perception of things. And mostly it's to do good in the world, and that was Cardano. We were attracted immediately because it's built into the entire code of it. The stake pools offer doing good in the world, and we really connected with that deeply. And so it was a no-brainer for us to start building in Cardano. And then when you dig in deeper and see what it is they're actually building, the decentralization, all the aspects of it, it only turned up the volume for us to really try and build here.
Yeah, as for me, it's mainly technical. It was a mainly technical decision because we have already started pool operating with our Nova pool, and after that, if you understand how this works, how transaction works, it was just one step further to go into NFTs. And on the other side, Cardano offers you opportunities which you don't have in any other blockchain. For example, in our game, we try to implement as much play-to-mint mechanics as possible, so the players can mint things just from the game and with nearly no cost. If you try this on Ethereum, for example, it's just not possible. So we have things we can do on Cardano which you just can't do on other chains.
Yeah, on our side, I could go on and on about this one, and I'll save some for Rob as well, but we're definitely very attracted to the idea that Cardano is building out with increased regulation in mind. So for example, Atala Prism and the ability to have digital identities is huge in the future, because we know that's where things are headed. But also, I would add that the community, and this is also an answer to that first question about the differences in Web 2 and Web 3, but the community is a huge difference in the two, and it's a powerful asset for us in crypto. But when you look at Cardano's mission and what the blockchain has attracted, the type of people that it's attracted, and the community that's been built and cultivated through Charles' constant communication with everyone, it's a powerful community, and it's one that I'm absolutely thankful every day to be part of.
Yeah, and when we started this endeavor, we're not here to build fast and break things, as the saying goes. I studied gaming. I could see the way it was going. We want to be disruptive in the space, but at the same time, we want to build that on a long-term foundation. So when I got into studying Cardano back in 2017 and watched the whiteboards, and then followed the journey through, and then followed how Ethereum and how all these other chains were coming, it was clear to me that the long-term vision of Cardano aligned with the long-term vision of Cornucopias.
Yeah, absolutely. So as for Cardano, as the space is still fairly new at the moment, where do we stand right now with Web3 gaming? Maybe, Kevin, you would like to take that question?
Where do we stand with Web3 gaming? I'm going to just backtrack a bit because I also believe, one of the things that attracted us to Cardano was interoperability and going cross-chain. And that will lead to where Web3 is going. It has to be interoperable. That's the whole point of Metaverse, right?
Absolutely,
Yeah, we have, and so we're pushing on that front very heavily. We are in ETH, we're working in there, we're trying to figure out Polkadot, and we're going to be launching some stuff there real soon. So, and that was the other piece of Cardano, right? They had internal pieces that were already looking at doing wrapping and figuring out how to get cross-chain. And that's really, really valuable and important to us because we're really, we're trying to gather the chains. We're trying to get people to understand that you're going to cross over into different boundaries. I hope our players go into Cornucopia. I hope they come into ours. And I hope they bring their, let's say, identities with them. And IMX is a great company working on DIDs right now, that's a huge piece of this because that acts as a neutral middle ground to allow, again, Cardano, right? They're thinking about the bigger space that's happening here. And so as we're Web3 gaming, I think there's a long way to go still because of the speed of things, just the crunching of transactions and all that. But then I look at, I can tell you what the metaverse and gaming where there's no meta yet. And I mean that in two ways. Meta ain't doing it, 100%, and I hope you all know what I mean by that. But we're also missing the true value of meta itself, which is what Neil Stephenson wrote about a long time ago. It's the metaverse, meaning meta is this being aware of being aware, right? And it's not Facebook's meta, and I think we're building on this right now. I think there's a lot of people in the space who understand that this is now a whole nother level up, and we're building a lot of the foundational pieces to get there. So and I know we're working hard on that. We did a staking app for everybody here in Cardano that's really going to launch soon and do some cool stuff for the stake pools and things like that. So yeah.
Yeah, so we're still pretty much just at the start and figuring everything out at the moment.
We're wearing diapers in this right now still, but it's gonna grow faster than anything had before. Web 2 took a longer time to get to where we are, right? That it's on your phone now. That took a long time. This time, that speed is going to be a lot faster to where we get to the next.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, for me personally, I've been a Web 2 gamer for pretty much my entire life, but I feel it's getting a little tired and boring. There's not so many great games coming out, and so I feel like it's time for something fresh and something new and exciting. So I'm wondering, what are the challenges in Web 2 that, in your eyes, blockchain can solve? Maybe Egon, you would like to elaborate on that one?
Yeah, thank you. Well, the challenges in Web 2, we have various problems we have in Web 2 gaming right now. And for example, we have, if it comes to game content or game progress, we have some kind of black market where you can just buy game progress. We can solve this by verification through blockchain, but I'm not going into technical details for this. It's just one idea. And the second idea, and the main challenge in my opinion, is if we play games and we build up any progress, or probably buy DLCs or buy game content, skins, or even pay-to-win content, I don't know. If this game at some point at the time stops to operate, close the servers, all this is gone, and it already happened to many games. So same for game platforms like Steam. If Steam decides to put down games, and it already happened to the first game as far as I know, the players are left without anything. So they don't only spend money to this, they only spend time, and this is more important. You lost your time you have spent it. Yeah. And by these linking game content from the game itself, and here comes the blockchain and the Web3 functionalities in, we can keep the game content by the players even if the game shut down. And you can do it on various ways. For example, you can keep it all in one game, or you put the content out of the game. For example, the players have their NFTs, and they can just use the same NFT in the next game or in other game. This is where project incorporations or collaborations come in. And we can even take it further. We can go go into blockchain, cross-chain collaborations. So the idea is, and this is a challenge we have to solve, is not to let the players spend time for nothing. Just keep your content and keep it all your life, probably, and play with this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Martin from AdaQuest.
Yeah, same. From a user experience, I think how amazing would it be if I could take, let's say, my favorite character in my game and turn it into an NFT and use it in every other game. That would be absolutely amazing. And there's so many opportunities with NFTs as well. So,
what if you're your favorite character and you create you for the game? That's where this is going.
Yeah, that would be
you don't need to be
pretty amazing.
You don't need to be Lara Croft. You need to be you and bring that into this new metaverse.
Yeah, that
right?
would be pretty amazing.
That's where we're going.
I just don't know if I would like to play myself though. So.
I also think the centralized publishers as well. I think to an extent they've taken control of they're trying to extract as many micropayments out of the players that they can, and gamers now, I think that they're really hesitant to look at blockchain because they actually think blockchain is going to extract more payments out of people, which is the complete opposite. And I think the whole funding of games as well via VCs and the pressure that brings, I think there's opportunities there that you'll get on a blockchain that you just wouldn't get with traditional funding as well as gaming.
I think you've just got to look at the trends that have existed for a long time as well in Web2 gaming. So I think many people in Web2 gaming wouldn't acknowledge that they have a problem at all. In fact, there's a large proportion of that industry that are not fans of blockchain and NFT yet. But what they would acknowledge is they've loved trading, and they've loved trading forever, both within games such as RuneScape and stuff like that, where trading is the core to these games. Yeah. And then also there's been loads of trading outside of games, just in dodgy grey markets, very, very high risk stuff, and some of the larger publishers and studios have tried to sort of legitimize this. Yeah. But you could see the appetite for that. Yeah. So why don't we just legitimize it full stop and have done with it? And then everybody can trade as much as they like, and that's built into the core strategy and philosophy of the whole ecosystem. Yeah. I think that's the other thing. And then the other trend that's been around for a long time is user-generated content, and the Pavia project leans heavily into this. Our core, the thing we are most curious and excited about, is the things that people will create in the metaverse. But if you look at the likes of YouTube and so on and so forth, that didn't exist, and now it does, and now content creation is a massive thing. And then if you look at the likes of Roblox, which is an incredibly successful game, it's been around for a long time now, but it's all about user-generated content, and I think the blockchain and decentralization lends itself perfectly for people who don't just want to play, but they want to create, and in some cases they'll be able to monetize as well.
Which is why I don't like to talk about Web 2 and Web 3, because they're two different things. Web 3 is creating the... Imagine if these Roblox kids were getting... And kids, everybody, sorry. Imagine if they were actually getting, something back for that creation. And that's what's shifting. And I'll be honest with you, Web 2 doesn't want that. We're taking their pie now. That's a pie they sit on, and they have it all. And we're talking about giving this to the people who actually are creating this content and participating in this metaverse. You're cutting into their pie, and this is going to be a little bit of a battle more than an evolution. It's either we're going to take it over and win, and I don't mean this in a very aggressive way, but that's what's coming. We're offering participation of the audience into this.
Yeah, if you look at what Web3 enables with the liquidity, freeing up the liquidity to move around and be controlled by the people, and you combine that with the power of the community and the creativity of the community, you have an incredible motivated asset that doesn't exist in Web 2. And so I do think that as we start to solve these UI problems and onboarding people into crypto, as we start to make that easier and more seamless, we have a very, very powerful movement occurring ahead.
Yeah. I think the opportunity, last word on this for me anyway, is if you look back at when mobile games came out, the games industry went through the exact same thing that blockchain's going through right now, which is that can't be possibly called a game. You can't call a game that in hyper-casual games get created. And of course, now it's like half of the industry or whatever it is.
Half?
Or more than that. What I loved about that story, though, is the big players didn't come from EA or Activision or Ubisoft. They were Supercell, King, Rovio. They were all the young startups trying something new, be willing to go out there and risk it on a very new venture. And I think that is a massive opportunity for anybody building games in blockchain, because I think the large guys are going to struggle a little bit to move and also bring their audience with them.
Yeah, absolutely. Just sort of to go back a little bit to Cardano, so what do you think is specific to the Cardano gaming and metaverse environment that differs from other ecosystems? And maybe what is the benefit of building on Cardano from sort of a tech side? Egon, maybe you would like to take that question?
Yeah, from the technical side, I've already said we have possibilities on Cardano which we don't have on other blockchains. I think it's also easier for the players' side to adopt to Cardano blockchain gaming than to other blockchains. But I'm not sure here because I've never tried to go into other blockchains. Yeah. So maybe any other can add something.
Maybe Josh and Rob, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you look at the native tokens, for example, on Cardano, they're treated like the actual ADA currency themselves. So you inherit all the properties of the layer 1 blockchain. You have things like non-custodial staking, which is very rare on other blockchains. But for me, as well as the side chains, which really open itself up to gaming, because you get all this off-chain processing that you need, because we need to be saving our games every 20, 30 seconds, the progress. But when you look at the testnet and the mainnet that run in parallel with each other, you have this an absolute amazing architecture set up ready for you to test your game, test your economics and your tokenomics before you then move over to mainnet. So those are just some of the headlines that really attracted me to Cardano.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just curious to see what are sort of the challenges that you faced with your projects? What are the challenges in building a game, a Web3 game?
Do you want me to start that one?
Yep.
You go for it. My challenges are too long.
You just have to go through it.
Yeah. There are many. I think one of the things is, and this really depends how you've gone about your project, actually. But one of the interesting things, this is a non-technical answer, is you have to build in public. Certainly, if you crowdfunded your project like we did in advance, and that's a double-sided coin. The brilliant side of that is you have the community on board from day one, and they're able to, advise, share opinions, and all the rest of it, which we've loved, and we've taken stuff from our community and really listened to them, and it's been built into our strategy. But the challenge is you're building an enormous project, but in public. Therefore, there's the demand for daily updates, weekly updates.
Well, you know what I would add to that, which is it's more expectations, right?
Yeah.
It's really difficult to understand how complicated this is, but the audience wants it now.
Yep.
And that's the when. That's my favorite, WEN of everything, And so we're really big on trying to, and my whole career has been about this. When you market or do anything, you're really managing expectations.
Yep.
But this is a very hungry, ravenous crowd who wants this new thing that's coming right now.
Yep.
And it's a slow process. I mean, the foundational pieces are many, and they're complex. And just from when we got introduced to Cardano till now, the speed at which things are being built and the innovation is astronomical. And that speed has made the audience even more hungry now, right? And so that's what we're challenged with. That's the biggest challenge, really, is getting this done sooner than later.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, all the people we've met, including this panel and everyone is really working hard. And I'm saying this to the people out there listening. We're working really fast and hard to deliver this thing for you. So kind of don't relax, stay on our backs, but it's gonna take a little bit to get this awesome thing to you. And,
I would like to add, this big expectation from the community is also a good opportunity, because we push it further. We are not early access, we are building live. So our community demands already things from us, and this is an opportunity to work with the community. So how we work, we are just asking in Discord, would you like things to be like this or like this? There's a voting. If I like this, we take it into the game. So it's one-to-one
I'd go
exchange.
even further. Sometimes people in there in your community offer to do things for you and build things for you.
Yeah.
Rockstar, imagine that happening? I don't think so. Hey, we
Exactly.
want to help build. Yeah, bye-bye. See you later.
I think this falls into the category of a nice problem to have,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't expect any sympathy from the traditional studios, because when I speak to them, they go, do you know how lucky you are
Yeah.
to have your audience from
Yep.
day one? We wish we had
Yeah.
that. So I think it's a nice problem.
No, they wish they had all the money
I
from their
completely agree
audience
with that.
and no input from the
Yeah,
audience.
that's true. That's true.
All right, we've got
you know,
5 more
we have
minutes.
some
Oh,
other
sorry. Yeah,
Oh,
go
yeah, yeah,
ahead.
we-
We just got 5 more minutes.
Some of the problems we're facing is we're really trying to bridge the gap and bring over traditional gamers into the Web3 space. And there's a lot of preconceived notions about what Web3 is. And so a lot of people think a variety of things of Web3. And we need to make it easy for those guys to come over. And so it's imperative that we lead with the kind of quality that's already occurring in the Web2 space, and that we really showcase amazing products and let people see what is the power of the Web3 side of gaming and metaverse.
All right.
Yeah, I
believe-
think
I
one of
believe
the
they're gonna
biggest
need to
challenges as
see-
well
oh,
is
sorry.
the actual.
Back to you, Cornucopia.
So one of the challenges is, bringing the developers over, because the developers, when they see you're building on the blockchain, a lot of them turn away. So it's been a real challenge to bring on AAA developers.
Well,
We're slowly
so I was going to add to that and say they haven't seen an experience worthy yet, right? It's like saying, let's bring all the hard rock fans into EDM. That ain't going to happen. So let's create this new audience. And when that first big experience for them emerges, all those old gamers are going to pop over and go, finally, something fun to do. I don't think right now it's fun enough for them when I can sit at home on Call of Duty and have a blast. What am I going to do right now in Web3?
Yeah.
Anybody have the game that I should be playing right now? So once that happens, boom, you watch. They're going to come over in droves, and then an NFT is going to be a thing for them. And when these studios, they already are, we know this, Disney and Warner Brothers, they're already talking about NFTs, and they're going to bring that audience over. So now's a good moment on this fulcrum that's about to tip. Let's get them before they do, or figure out how to work with them, because it's coming, and it's coming very soon, very soon.
That would be a good thing for mass adoption as well, though.
It will, but then you've got a bigger battle, right? Now we're battling the old studios who maybe have figured out something. They're going to get it wrong, I can guarantee you that, but they're going to figure out a way for everybody to have their Disney wallet and some Disney NFTs. And that's around the corner, And it could be good for us, but then you got to go, okay, the indie cool thing is over here after you got your Disney wallet, right?
Yeah.
So we'll
And
figure it out,
and
and
theirs will be
it's
probably
coming. We'll win.
centralized.
Sorry, go ahead.
Theirs will all probably be centralized wallets.
Yep.
Yeah, Rob's absolutely right. Those companies are built around a centralized ecosystem. They're centralized
100%,
companies.
yeah.
Many of them are public. They have shareholders to answer
100%,
to.
yeah.
That presents an opportunity for us because they are very, very hard companies to suddenly pivot and turn into a world where you share the wealth.
Yep.
That's the hardest thing that the large
And involve the
organizations
community.
offer. Yeah.
How are they going to do that?
Yeah, 100%. Well, we've got 2 more minutes to go. Does anybody? I know time went by so quick, so quick.
It does
It's
in the
ridiculous.
metaverse.
Yeah.
It goes by quickly.
It's crazy. Yeah. Anybody wants to share anything?
I think you had. Did you not have a question around the future or in 5 years'
Yeah.
time?
Where do you see
Right, where do we
Web3
see it?
in 5 years? We've got 2 minutes.
Okay, and
Let's
I'll
go.
do a short version of that. I think the quickest way to think about it is whenever I think of my mum using the internet, she's never gone on a website and gone, thank goodness for HTTP, or I wonder if this is hosted on AWS. She doesn't do that. She just goes on and uses it. And when we have managed to abstract all of this technology away to the user, that they literally don't know what's going on under the hood, then that's where we need to be in 3 to 5 years' time, hopefully.
Yeah.
But that's what this is about. We're doing that, right? We're all talking to each other and figuring out how to make it simpler and more behind the scenes and seamless, because that audience still can't do what needs to be done. I mean, the process of going through to get a wallet, get an NFT, even then figuring out cross-chain, like, forget it, right? When that audience can do that quickly, and then there's an experience behind it, it's going to happen. That's what I'm saying. We're climbing up the seesaw, and it's going to go, and it's, would I guess how far away that is? We just saw 20 minutes go by in 2 minutes. So I'm
Yeah.
going to say it's going to take 20 minutes, and it end up being 2 minutes. So it's happening so quickly, so quickly.
It is, absolutely. Got anything?
I don't know
Yeah,
what we had. We had 1 minute to go, so yeah, probably Cornucopias.
Back
Well,
to you, Cornucopia.
we have an idea where our game's going to be in the next 3, 5, and 7 years. But the beauty of working on the blockchain and with the community is that community with governance that you get on blockchain, they will help to guide our games. And you won't get that in traditional games. So the community will help to give feedback. We'll be able to test in real time with the community. And I think that's one of the most exciting parts of building in Web3.
Yeah, well, thank you guys for coming. It was really interesting to hear your insight. And thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much. You can exit that way or round the chairs. There we go. There we go. Fantastic. Gosh, so much food for thought in that. We really want to thank you all for your honesty and your generosity. And I know that you do not want to miss our closing session. We have got absolutely world-class speakers. So I need you to make sure that you're hydrated, you've had fresh air, you've got some energy and some caffeine, more importantly. So take a little break and we'll see you back in here at 3 p.m.